Hey guys, and welcome to Creativity Level Zero. I'm Jim,
And I'm Steve.
and thanks everybody for joining us. So
God, that
Steve,
sounded so robotic. Can you
well,
sound a little more excited
I'll
about our podcast?
that's
Like, I need
true.
some enthusiasm over
It
here. Let's
is
go.
it is a late night over here. My bedtime is when the sun goes down.
You know, you've hit your 30s when, 9 p.m. is considered late.
That's true, and I have. Yeah, for some reason, once it gets to 9, I'm looking at the time and I'm just like, tomorrow's a coming. And
Are you wearing like pajama bottoms right now underneath? Like you have a polo at the top, but is it
true.
pajama bottoms
You know,
as
it's
your
it's
bottoms?
kind of like that owl who licks the Tootsie Pop. The world may never
What
know.
the I was
It
like, where is this going?
wouldn't be our podcast if I didn't take two tangents to get to the joke.
Yeah. If any of you guys knew the reference, but as soon as he said the like
The
Tootsie Roll
punchline.
Owl,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, yeah, if you got the punchline before he said it, put it in the comments because I was that
Kudos.
completely flabbergasted at where this was going.
The world may never know, Steven.
Your mind works in mysterious ways. The world
Yeah,
may never know how your mind
the
works.
way it works is the way my hair works. You could see it's just all a little messed up because we've been in quarantine for what now, 3 months?
Yeah.
And I essentially said, I'm gonna cut my own hair. And
Oh,
then,
you cut your own hair? Yeah.
well,
I did too, but I just had to buzz it.
so I snipped the sides, and I realized it's a little bit of a skill to cut hair. So,
Just a tad. It's
so
not
I
like you
didn't
have to
cut
go
the
to school for
top.
it.
So this top is just long and
Oh.
unwieldy. I'll just shove it up.
You should
There we
just
go.
take like a hair clip with a little flower
I
and just put
know.
it
I need to. Next
right
time I'm
there.
out, I'll swing by Forever 21 and just grab one. I'll just, I'll grab it.
And you'll forever be 21. See?
Yeah, when they
And
ask,
9 p.m. will no longer be late for you.
mm-hmm. And when they ask me like, is that all? I'll be like, give me a 10 pack because I know women lose those things all the time. Those hair
And
clips and hair
and
ties.
and so you're saying you're gonna lose them
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
as
I'm
well? Yeah.
I'm sure what'll happen is I'm gonna put it in to clip up my bangs for those of you who know the different parts of the hair. And then and then I'll get into bed and I'll wake
Hair expert.
and I'll get into bed and like I'll wake up, my hair will be a mess and the clip will be gone. And I'll be like,
Oh no.
I'm gonna have to get another one.
It's like the underwear gnomes took your hair clip.
You mean the sock gnomes, if that's even a
What,
thing?
yeah. I mean,
Underwear
my socks and
gnomes?
underwear are in the same drawer.
Wait,
Are your
so
socks and underwear in different drawers?
they're the same, but I thought you meant like, when you lose one sock, you
Yeah.
know, what do
No,
you
that
lose?
goes into
You
like
lose
a
a
different
pair of
dimension.
underwear?
No, see what happens when you lose a sock is you put it in the dryer and then a portal to
Okay.
a different dimension
Okay.
opens up. It's the same world as ours, but it just holds socks. And
Okay.
everyone's socks that disappear just end up there. I
But
really
wait,
hope one day we'll develop a machine and start divvying up socks to everyone
and where's the underwear gnome from? What does this have to do with them?
again. No, I'm
What?
saying the socks are
No,
different than
wait,
the
hold
underwear.
on. What is the underwear gnome?
They steal your underwear.
What? When you're sleeping?
When you can't find your underwear, where'd you put it?
No, no.
No?
What do you
You
mean, where
never
can I
lose your
find it?
underwear? You're like, I swear I had it on.
Oh my god.
All of a
I've
sudden,
had that.
I don't have anything on.
So I've had that happen in bed with shirts. And this is actually quite common, where you go to bed wearing something and you wake up and you're now without your shirt. And you're like, what happened? And you're like trying to put the pieces together because like you look around and now the fan is on and it wasn't. Like the AC is set to 65 and you don't have a shirt. You're like, I was probably sweating and my body just took over. It was like,
In automatic mode, I need to cool off immediately.
exactly, exactly. That happens to me quite often because I'm
See,
one.
I don't typically have that happen because when I go to sleep, I like my entire room and surroundings to be
Yes,
the Arctic.
yes, you do. You came over to my
It's
house for
so comfortable
when
to
you.
like cocoon yourself, you know.
So I like that too. I think most people like the cold outside and then the warm blanket. I
That's
think
right.
that's common. But I think you take it to another level because when you came to my house, just so people know, my room is on the floor above the floor Steve slept on. So my room is usually 5, maybe a few more, maybe 8 degrees warmer. So if you set it for like the temperature for let's say 70 on the main floor, my room would be like at least 75. So when I sleep, I like the place warm generally, but when I sleep, I don't like it too warm, so I put it to like 70. So my room will be 70. So I have to knock it down to 65. But that means the main floor is at least like 65. And
Right.
when I saw you, you were sweating. You came out, you were like, Jim, it's so hot down here. I was like, all right,
You know, I just want to tell you guys, he's making me the bad guy in all
no, this
this.
is
But I
no good or
know I
bad.
walked into his house and I said, "Whoa, I think it's hotter in your house than it is outside." He says, "Oh, I forgot to set it lower. I had it set at 78." And I'm
Oh
like, "What?
no,
Who is this monster who sets their house at 78?"
that was in
And
the
he just
winter.
told you all, wait, he just told you all that his room is 8 degrees hotter. So it's 86 up there.
It was in the winter, Steve, and there's holes in this house. It's a drafty
Oh, here we
house.
go. Drafty house.
I always wondered how two people who like different temperatures would get along. And it's interesting because my place is split level. So it could actually work for you and me at the same time. But for most people, like at your house, it's single level. And so you're kind of stuck. You got to choose your battle with the rooms.
Yeah, to a degree, because my bedroom has these bay windows all around.
Yeah.
And so during the winter, that room is colder than the rest of the house.
Yeah.
But during the summer, that room is warmer. And so if you think I like it cold, like I said,
Yeah.
in the 60s, and it's the summer, you can imagine what the rest of the house how cold it is because I have to set it even
Oh
lower
my gosh.
in order
It
to
must be
get my room
freezing.
to be cool.
Well,
Yeah, and I have the
before,
fan just blow it in my face
well, you
because I
need that.
can't.
You need that.
Yeah.
Before you ended up using the heat when I would come over. There was a period before you would turn on the heat. And
That's
during
right.
that time, it was so cold, my feet would go numb. And so what I'd have to do is little like you're sitting, you got to do these things with your feet. Keep them moving. Keep those jazz toes
You have
going.
to describe it. You have to describe what you're doing.
Oh yeah, that's right. You put your feet on your tippy toes and on your heels, and you just kind of tap dance to
You
kind of
tap dance,
get the blood flowing.
get
Yeah,
the blood circulating.
yeah.
Yeah.
And for people like me, like I got long arms and long legs. For people like us, our extremities get cold, like the fingers get cold and the toes get cold. And
Sure.
so, when the house is cold, you're just an ice monster at that point. I actually think it's
I
an
just,
issue. Now that we're
what's
talking
that?
about it, I think it's an actual issue that people who don't have good circulation doesn't get all the way to their
Yeah.
fingers. Yeah, it's probably a real issue. Yeah,
I know that at extreme levels that
yeah, yeah,
you can have that, like low blood circulation, low
yeah.
blood pressure.
Yeah. Mm.
Uh, but yeah, it could be in the middle of summer, and I would invite Jim over,
Yeah.
and he knows to bring a sweatshirt, not for the outside
I'd
world,
wear it in.
but for my house.
I'd wear the
And you see
sweatshirt
him
in.
sweating because he's wearing his sweatshirt from the outside. And then he comes inside and he gets immediately more comfortable
Yeah,
with
I'm
the
like,
sweatshirt.
this is the Arctic I was waiting for. So I had an uncle who would keep his house ice cold. And not really sure why, but he kept it so cold that when it was winter, it was warmer outside. And we would open the windows to get it warmer inside.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it was
god.
so cold because his house was like in a valley. I don't know how that really works, but like um there would be like normally the plots of land they build them on like a little mound so you don't get water damage. But his was like
Right.
down a bit. And so like the cold
So
air
he got
just
all the water damage.
I I didn't ask. But yeah, it was cold in there and it was like an ice box.
Right, right.
Though,
Yeah.
having worked in offices, I noticed they keep them cold as well.
Keeps you more productive.
Probably for the best. If it was hot, I would fall
Yeah.
asleep.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd rather be
Doing
cold.
office work all day in the heat, you're like, oh my goodness, I'm
Oh
just
yeah.
gonna close my eyes for a second.
So I'll tell you a funny story. So one time I worked for this like company where I did just like data entry, like you just typed in stuff back when I was in college, just trying to make some extra money. And
Sure.
it was during the summer and in Jersey we get pretty hot summers. Like you can get to 90, sometimes even to the hundreds. But it's generally 85s to 95s in like the middle of the summer.
Right.
And I would do this thing where like they give you 30 minutes for lunch, but I was there just for the money, so like I really just wanted to like do my work and then eat as fast as I can and leave. But they
Right.
forced me to take a 30-minute lunch. I guess you had to
Oh,
or
poor
whatever.
you.
I know. Because I'd be just like eating and doing my thing because I wanted to get out of there. Like who wants to stay there for like 8 hours?
Yeah, yeah.
So I would do this thing where like I would test how long I could stay in my car in the heat without passing out. Like as a
What
test of
what
endurance.
kind of sane person does it? You're
This
like, you
is
know what? I see those dogs trapped in cars all the time. I wonder if I could do
yeah,
it.
exactly. I'm the kind of person that like I feel especially when it comes to heat, I can push through it. And so, spoiler alert, it can kill you and it's dangerous,
Yeah.
so don't do that.
Did you
Um,
have water with you?
no, I wasn't that smart.
Oh my god.
No, I would just sit in the car, and you probably remember the old Phoenix car I had. It was
That's
a
right.
Toyota, an old Toyota. It had a sunroof, so I popped that open, so the light was coming in the top, beaming on me, like in my work
Oh, so
clothes.
you didn't actually have the sunroof open, you just had the
No,
glass.
just the glass, and I would just sit
Oh
there
my
and
goodness.
just like focus. And I'll tell you what, you last a few minutes in there, give you props. Because I would last less than a minute, and I'd be like, "Get me out of this lot box! Get out!"
I was gonna say, people, if you just want to experience that, go to a sauna or a
hmm
steam room,
hmm
something way more comfortable
hmm
than just sitting in your car in the heat.
It makes a warrior out of you, for sure.
Makes the worst.
hmm
I guess that's how you've trained yourself to, have your room at 86
That's right.
degrees.
Doesn't even bother me now. Doesn't bother me. And
Oh my god, it's suffocating. Going to your house
well, it's
sometimes.
weird because it's warm heat with no humidity, so it's not like hot like when it's in the summer. It's just
Right.
it's like a loving blanket all around you. That's what
No,
it's
no, it's
like.
awful. It's every breath you take is almost as warm as your insides. So it feels really, really
That's
weird.
true. Whenever you come over, and even there's some other people that come over and I'll see a drop of sweat down their face and I'm like, I should lower the AC a bit more. Just sweating a tiny bit. I should, give them a little bit more, little cooler air.
A little cooler air. Yeah.
Actually,
How very considerate of you.
it is weird the way I said that. I said lower the AC more, which is kind of counterintuitive because I meant lower the temperature of the AC, not like
Right,
the
right.
fan. It's obviously on.
Yes, you technically raise the AC, but lower the
Yeah,
temperature.
yeah, exactly, yeah. But my fan
Yeah.
is only on or off, so you can't even raise it. It's just AC on or AC
You don't
off.
have the auto feature where it just automatically turns off.
Yeah, on or off. So if it was blowing and you're like, can you make it cooler? Can't blow faster. That's all it does. Maybe it could
I mean,
blow it
lower
colder.
temperature.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
did you have something you wanted to go over today?
Well, I wanted to see. Did you want to talk about something first, or because I think you said that you wanted
Yeah,
you had some
I
video
wanted to bring
stuff.
up a quick highlight of something, and I'll keep an eye on the time here because you know how I get with these stories. I'll just try to
Oh
keep it to
yes.
5 minutes. But today,
Good luck, guys.
I was at my parents' house today, and I
Uh-huh.
saw a baby deer. Now,
Oh,
I'm not
baby
a
deer.
stranger to baby deers. Deers? Doe? Does?
No, I think it's just
Deeros?
deer.
Okay.
Deer rose.
Wait, so it's
Not
one deer,
Oreos.
many deer?
Deer.
I see a
Yeah,
deer. I see 10 deers or 10 deer.
deer. 10
Why
deer.
can't you say deers?
Because it's incorrect.
Well, it
Because
sounds
the
good.
English language is stupid.
Yeah, it's stupid. I'm gonna go with what my heart says, and it's deers.
Oh, I thought you
So
could say Doritos.
I saw a baby deer fawn, and
Uh-huh.
they tend to have kids near my parents' house, so we've seen deer before there. Deers.
Okay. Deer.
Deers. We've
Deer.
seen multiple of the deer in the backyard. Anyway,
It's gonna be a long story, guys.
anyway,
You
um,
get the
so this
plural
one was
deer.
different though because my sister said she saw a pregnant deer mama the day before. And
Oh,
then,
really?
so we think this was fresh born. Now, for someone like me,
How big was this deer? This fawn?
it's like the size of a toaster oven.
Also, it's really small, huh?
They're pretty small. Um, Fun fact, they can walk immediately, which I did not know, and
Yeah.
it scared the hell out of me. Because
Yeah.
I saw this little feeble thing on the grass, and I was like, oh, I'm going to go take a picture. And then as soon as it stood up, I was like, whoa, you're 1 day old. You should be resting. Like, what's going on? But my concern was being not a deer expert, which now we can say I'm a deer expert because I had this experience.
Well, there we go. Something new underneath you.
Yeah,
Deer
deer.
expert.
We could say deer's expert, so we don't confuse people.
Deer.
But
You really
the
need to start adding it. Like, you need to start working on this.
okay. Well, we got to remember all of them. There's so many. Maybe we should write the ones that I'm not. Probably shorter.
Yeah, that'll be shorter.
So the deer fawn doe baby deer that was there. It was alone, and you've seen my parents' backyard. They have like a pool area. In the pool area,
Right. Isn't
and
there a fence there?
yes. And only the strongest of deer can jump that fence. And I know because I've seen deer hit that fence and fall over and hurt themselves. And I'll tell you something. When a deer hits a metal fence, it don't walk good for the next few days. It is limping. It's painful to watch because
Right.
the lead deer in the pack, the group, I don't know what a pack of deer is called. A frolic? The main deer in the frolic will
Just throw
will
in red
will
words.
jump like as if it's Rudolph right over, and you're just like, that was freaking glorious. You know, it's just whew. That fence is, and the
Yeah.
fence is high. It's like 5 feet, maybe higher, maybe almost my height. It's pretty high. And
Right.
then the next one will jump, and it'll kind of skin its legs, and you're like, whoa, that was close. And then the next one will jump, and it'll just bam right into it and fall back on the other side. And the other deer look at it, they're like, we'll catch you next time. And they just bolt off, leaving the injured one there to just hobble around, and then I have to come out and be like, what's going on? And now it's obviously panicked, right? So it's like got the one leg, it's a mess. So,
It's got one leg limping.
oh yeah.
It's trying to gallop away. You're probably making it worse.
Oh, it gets worse. If they see me and they get scared, sometimes I can corral them to the exit, but other times they'll just continually try to jump the fence, and it is painful to watch because you know they didn't make it that first jump. So like
So now that they're injured, they're
they're definitely not making it at that point. So my concern was like, first off, baby deer in the pool area. How did it get there? Did the mama just like pop it out there and then leave? And then second question was, can baby deer get through the fence? Because there's slots in the fence.
Yeah,
Turns
that's what I
out,
was gonna say. Yeah.
right. So turns out baby deer can get through the fence. Scared me. Because I didn't think it could. I was behind the fence and all of a sudden it came through. The other thing
Right.
is, I didn't know. So in my head, I saw this baby deer on the ground, sort of sleeping. My sister called it sleepy. And I saw hawks circling. Now in
Oh
Jersey,
no.
there's vultures, hawks, and eagles. Eagles are endangered, but they can literally eat a real deer. A hawk, I
A
think it could.
real deer, like a full
Oh
grown
yeah,
deer?
yeah. That's
No
that's
way can
when
they
you're
eat a full
bored.
grown
That's a
deer.
good YouTube video. Hawk taking down deers. It's pretty crazy. Um, oh, I mean eagle, not hawk. Eagle can do it.
Right.
Hawks, they can eat baby dogs and they can eat baby birds. And I was wondering, can a hawk eat a baby deer? And they were circling. So I was nervous. So I went out and I was looking for the parents. They weren't there. Turns out deer pop out their kid, peace out for the day, and come get them at the end of the day. Kind of like daycare, but you just leave them in the middle of
Right.
nowhere. So we waited all day till it got to like dusk, and then the mom came back and took the deer with her, and the hawks left. So I think, as a deer expert, I actually protected the spotted white-tailed deer species, patented. I protected them from the predatory hawks.
How did you protect it?
So I went out there first to take pictures, like a good person would,
Uh-huh.
and my presence did nothing. But then the deer got up and walked through the fence towards me and scared the living daylights out of me, and I ran yelling, and that scared the hawks away.
You
So,
ran from a baby deer?
dude, you don't expect the baby deer to walk, and then you don't expect it to walk through the fence. Like there was too much surprises there. It was too much.
Were you worried about getting attacked?
It was
Baby
look, it
deer?
was my fight or flight instinct, and apparently deer is in the flight category. So that was the story I wanted to tell you. As a quick side note, we
Oh.
also found a turtle in the pool, and I called him Turdy, and nobody liked that name.
I wonder why.
Well, Turdy wasn't eating the lettuce, so I gave him a carrot, and he didn't
Did
eat
you like
that
the carrot?
either. No,
Oh no.
but I think it's because he's half dinosaur, half turtle. Because this turtle had a tail as long as his body. He was like, I don't know, 3 inches long. Not that big of a turtle. And he had
Uh-huh.
one of those necks that retract in and out, like a snapping turtle.
Right.
But he had a tail like
Sure.
an alligator. And so I figured like he was part dinosaur, part turtle. He needs meat. And
He could have been a snapping turtle.
yeah, he might have needed fish, and I wasn't going to share my burger, so that's he gets the lettuce.
I see how much you like Turdy. Just
Yeah.
letting him starve over there.
Well, my
He's
sister
hoping
said
to
she's
have
going to
some fish in
release
your
him.
pool.
Well, I was kind of concerned because that long tail made me think he's amphibious in terms of like like aquatic, like he likes to live in the water. And
Right.
there are some streams by my parents' house, but they're not super super close. Like I don't know if that size of a turtle could get there. Maybe he could. But he was in the pool, and I know he doesn't live in the chlorine water. So now I'm like, where did this turtle live? Was he in the sewers? Ninja Turtle style? Like, it could have been. Yeah.
You could have
Yeah.
been teaching this turtle karate. You
Yes, I could have. I don't know karate yet, but I could.
know.
And the first thing you need to know about karate.
You just have to like move your hands and you tell him that's karate.
Well, if I just move my hands, it's karate. It's it's karate once you do the noises. Yeah, yeah. All right, what do you want to get into?
So I was thinking earlier today.
Oh, good job.
I said, I know it's always dangerous. I said I was watching a movie and they were talking about cosmopolitan quizzes.
Like the
And
magazine?
so, like the magazine Cosmopolitan.
Like the
And they
show?
always sound so ridiculous on the movies. Like, what
Wait,
is
wait, pause.
your.
What movie were you watching?
Uh, we will leave that
This
classified
is
for
important.
now.
This chick
This is
flick needs to
classified.
go on
It
record.
definitely was not a chick flick. Leave me be.
This sounds like the movie.
It's quarantine,
This
Jim.
sounds like the movie. I've seen a movie where they do a quiz like that. It was with Matthew McConaughey. Uh, I'm gonna remember this movie because it sounds like the movie you've watched.
Well, maybe it'll be on one of these Cosmo quizzes.
No, I need to know what movie you watched so I know what mental state you were in, what level of depression you were in when this when this cosmopolitan.
I was at typical coronavirus depression.
Okay, standard. How to Lose a Guy in
Standard
10
coronavirus.
Days. That's the name of the movie. That's what you were watching.
Is Matthew McConaughey in that movie?
Yes, but in that movie they definitely talk about cosmopolitan quizzes.
Oh,
Is that what you were watching?
maybe.
Why don't you
I'll
just
never tell
Why don't you just tell us, Steve? There's nothing to be ashamed of.
I cannot promote these movies.
They're like 15 years old. Come on, it'll be nice for people to see the softer side of you. I watch chick flicks all the time. I told you, I just watched How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, at least within the last 5 years. Otherwise, I wouldn't have remembered that part of the movie.
That's true. That's true. I was going to ask. It's like, wait, did you watch?
Of course.
Did you watch it at the same time as me today?
Definitely not, because I'm not a girl. But
Wow.
I don't watch chick flicks during the middle of the day. No.
First of all, How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, great movie.
Oh, God. That does
it. All right.
Okay.
So I just like quick Google searched. Maybe people out there are gonna be more of the in on these Cosmo quizzes.
Okay.
But I just looked up cosmopolitan quizzes, and they have actually a whole section on their website
Oh, wow.
for quizzes.
Can I do it as a male, or do I have to pretend I'm a female?
You just have to answer it in whatever way you want to.
Well,
okay?
if my heart jumps to the female for a question and then jumps back to the male for another, I don't want you to think of our friendship any differently. Okay?
We've known each other long enough that, Cosmo quizzes won't break us apart.
Okay, thank goodness. Thank goodness. I didn't want you to know what type of woman I could have been.
That's right.
Okay.
So I guess let me preface
Is it
this
preface?
one.
Is it preface? Preface. No, it's preface.
I think preface is the correct way to say it, but I do say preface also.
I say preface, but what is a preface? Like your postface, preface? I'm going to get preface at the pregame. Preface.
You're gonna pregame.
I'm going to preface pregame.
So there was recently, it was Mother's Day, and you just saw your mom, right?
Oh, yep.
So this should be perfect for you, okay?
Ready to go.
There is a Cosmo quiz that says, how well do you really know your mom?
Oh, 100% right here. I feel like 50% of me is my mom. And at some points.
I mean, genetically.
Yeah, and at some points, a little too much is my mom.
I'm sure your mom would be thrilled that you finally accepted 50% of her.
She'd be happy with 1%. And anytime I did well in school, well, your father and I are smart. Oh, okay. Thanks, Mom. Anytime
at least she included you. For me, every time I did well in school, she said, "Oh, he got that from my side of the family."
Oh yeah, my mom would include my dad. But anytime things wouldn't happen to me, they would act like they disowned me. Like today we were talking about we were out just talking, and I was talking. Oh, my sister just had her birthday recently, and I was talking about like when you get older, things stop working right, and people start getting glasses. And my sister was so angry that I have perfect vision, and I attributed it to never reading when I was a kid. Pat on the back for that. And
I definitely do not promote this. Everyone should read when they're children.
my
And
parents
you
were.
know, the plural of deer is deer.
Is it deer? Did you look it up?
No, I didn't look it up, but I'm
Oh,
pretty
okay.
sure.
Well, if you didn't look it up, it's not true.
All right, I'm gonna look it up as you continue your story, and I can prove
Okay.
myself wrong.
So I told my parents I still have perfect vision, and my mom was like, "Well, you didn't get that from either of us," as if that I didn't get the good qualities from them, even though I really am hopefully 50-50 from them, but we'll never know.
Okay,
Steve's not a good
so
multitasker. Whenever he
no, I'm not.
multitasks and I say a joke, he just ignores it, which makes it
Mhm.
half as funny to me and in my heart.
I'm sorry, but there was actually like some interesting stuff
Okay.
about the plural of deer.
Okay, what is it?
Um, so
Uh-oh.
turns out both answers are correct.
Oh!
Deer
Mic
and
drop!
deers
Oh!
are correct. It says deers is an accepted plural, but it is rarely used.
Oh, well, it's rarely used because very few people are deers experts, like myself.
Yeah. But deer is supposed to be just deer, and it's supposed to be accepted in its plural form, as is just like sheep and fish.
Really?
Like the plural of sheep is sheep, not sheeps.
Well, I didn't
And
say sheeps.
fish
I said deers because I'm a deers expert, Steven.
is not fishes.
So, did you look up? Oh, I looked it up. What a group of deer is called.
No, I didn't look that up. Yeah.
It says, well, okay, first off, this is from Quora, and those are user-generated answers. So, how do I know that you didn't go on Quora right now and write this as the answer? Who knows? But the answer that they put was herd.
A herd. A
But that's
herd. Yeah.
so generic.
Not a. I don't know what you said. A follicle
It's a
or something.
frolic. A frolic of deer.
A
Yeah,
frolic?
yeah.
No,
And
that's not even
it's
a word.
frolic of deers. Yeah.
No.
You need to be deer certified as a deer spotter
Uh,
to be able to classify them like that.
we'll put it underneath your head. Part of the deer follicle.
No, it's not
Follicle.
follicle. You're sounding silly when you say, when you make up words like that. It's deer frolic.
Follicle is an actual word.
Yeah, you're using it in the wrong context. It becomes a fake
Obviously.
word.
All right, let's
All
get
right,
back to.
I'm ready.
Let's get back to
Cosmo
our
quiz me.
Cosmo
What
quiz.
percentage?
Let's get to the serious stuff, okay? Cosmo
All right,
quizzes.
Betty, I'm ready.
Serious stuff. Okay. Well, let me ask you.
Yep.
Would you be comfortable answering the "Are you actually in love?" quiz? Because that's the top one.
Are you actually in love? No,
Yeah.
I wouldn't be comfortable mainly because I know I'm in love with myself, and that taints every other answer. So I don't
So
think.
maybe that's perfect for you.
What other quizzes do we have? I'll do the mother's
Okay.
one. That
So
one's
now
perfect.
there's the. So, but that was the top one.
Okay,
So, but now it's the how well do you know your mom? So you
let's do
ready?
that. And you have a
Okay.
very special type of mom too. So I think
Right.
it'd be interesting to know.
That's right. So,
Ready?
do you know your mom's birthday?
Yes, I do know that. I won't say it on air, but I do know that.
Okay.
I will also say I have missed my mom's birthday for a very
I
good
have also.
reason.
I have not a very good reason.
My reason was we were in college and we had this programming thing we had to do, and nobody in the class could do it. And I was doing it, and for those that are nerds out there, it's called the Eight Queens problem. And we had to do it in assembly, which all that's gibberish to most people. But essentially, we had to write a program, and mine was so close to getting it, but it just kept tripping over itself over and over, and it was so close. And I pulled an all-nighter. And for those of you listening out there that know me, I never stayed up all night ever in college for studying. So like, if it was midnight, I stopped studying.
That was my go-to because I would procrastinate so much.
The all-nighter was
But
your
I would
specialty?
only do the report the night before, and it was always a mistake because it always took longer
Oh yeah.
than one night to do.
Oh
So,
yes. That's right. So yeah, I would always
with
call it at
red.
midnight. But so I called it at midnight like usual, and then I woke up the next day and finished it, and I was the only kid in the class to get it, giving myself an A, and everybody else, since they curve in college, had to get lower than me, so they had to get at least a B or below. Nobody else could get an A, which is a real dick punch in college because the curve goes the other way too. Most people think of a curve, they're like, yeah, curve me up. Well, it curves down too, which kind of sucks.
Yeah. Way to go, Jim.
Thank
I'm
you.
sure you must have been very popular.
Yeah, I wasn't. But that day happened to be my mom's birthday. So the day that I did all of the work was her birthday, and then I couldn't get it, and it was due the next day. I woke up in the morning, finished it in the morning, and then submitted it at like, whatever, 10 in the morning. That was the day after my mom's birthday, and at that point I called her to say happy birthday, and at that point I wasn't her son anymore, apparently. It was just,
Yeah. I was going to say, I'm sure your mom loved the excuse that you had to do this program,
right.
but and you couldn't find time to give her a call.
I was in the mental state of programming, and based on every sci-fi movie anybody's ever seen, you know that's an unbreakable mental state. They
That's right.
throw on their headset, they become like
And they just
super
type like,
yeah, that's exactly how it is in real life. Yeah.
yeah.
So
So
what
I
about you?
also forgot my mom's birthday once. Um, luckily, she only didn't make me live it down for a week.
Oh,
But
that's nothing. A week?
yeah, a week.
That's
But
nothing.
mine wasn't a good excuse. I literally woke up. I said, "Oh, I thought about it.
Yeah.
I'll give my mom a call after work."
Right.
Left work, exhausted,
Oh.
forgot about everything else in life.
Oh
Went
no.
home, crashed on the couch, and that's it. And then, next
Wait,
day I
did the
woke
whole
up.
day go by? She didn't call you or anything?
No, yeah, the whole day went
Ooh,
by.
cause,
Didn't call
cause your
her.
mom is the kind that I could imagine her calling you to say, "Why didn't you wish me a happy birthday?"
No,
So,
even the next day she didn't call me, and so I had to call her, and I was like,
ooh,
I called her as soon as I woke up.
ooh.
Because I was like, happy birthday. Like, well, it was yesterday, Steve.
Oh man, did you get her anything? What did you get her
Yeah,
that year?
I did. I don't remember that year. My sister and I usually do joint presents, and so I think that year I just made my sister in charge of getting it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, so I didn't even have a personalized gift. Sad day. I love you, mom.
Oh man, yours is
But her
worse.
gifts are expensive, so we always share with my
Yeah,
sister.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Next
So we're
question.
1 for 1 right now if we're keeping score.
One for one. Yes, we do know our mom's birthdays.
Okay.
Uh, Number two. Do
Two.
you know your mom's place of birth?
Place of birth. I would say
Yeah,
yes. If we
like the
don't,
exact
if I
city.
don't need to know the hospital name, I know the
I
city.
even know my mom's hospital name because I was born in the same hospital.
I'm rolling my eyes. That doesn't even count. Okay, I would still count it if you know the city. I'd say that.
Yeah, it was the Notre Dame Hospital in Montreal,
Oh,
Canada.
how do you say
That's
that
right.
in French? Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
I just want to hear you say damn.
You gotta roll your R's. So you know your mom's city
Yes,
she was born in?
yes.
Okay.
I shouldn't say it on here because it is in the States.
I mean, it's not like somebody's gonna track her down at the
They could.
hospital. Maybe you watching a lot of crime documentaries.
That's true. That's all Netflix feeds me. They're like,
All right, it's true. These questions might get used to hack into our mom's accounts.
that's true.
They
Why
could
don't you pick
say,
the
"Where
questions?
were you born?"
Right.
What town were you born? And now people are
Exactly.
gonna know.
So why don't you pick the ones that are not
No, 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 no.
self-identifying? All right.
There-
Next one.
There's hackers need to go pretty far to get to the security questions. All right. Do you know your mom's favorite food?
Favorite food? I'm gonna say no. I don't think I know.
I'm gonna say no also. I don't know if I know my mom's favorite food.
Wait, wait,
I
wait,
feel
wait,
like
wait.
I've really asked her that
Let's
question.
let's let's up the ante here on this test. All right. For
Uh,
every question we've had, let's also keep score if you know mine and I know yours
oh
as
wow.
well. Yeah. Because I definitely know your birthday, but I don't know your place of birth. And so I think we would be 1 for 2 for those.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'll be honest, I don't really know your birthday. I know it's in June
Oh my God.
sometime. Am I right?
Yeah, I
June?
think you could get it if you guessed. So I could get yours if I guessed too. I think that's within a margin of error. It's
Like
not.
June 7th
Yeah,
or something.
guessing for friends is kind of different than guessing for a mother. A mother, you have
Right.
no margin of error, right? Guessing for a friend, you get a few weeks margin of error here.
Right.
But favorite food, I don't know for my mom. I feel like I could say something, and knowing my mom and her and the day it is, she might change her answer.
I know. Maybe this is just the case for women. Like I'm not sure. Maybe I'm generalizing here,
No, that's
but
fair.
maybe my mom's favorite food is pasta related. Maybe it's like lasagna or something. But I don't know when it's Mother's Day or her birthday. We just have like regular pasta, and
Hmm.
she's fine with it. You know.
But does she like pasta more than like chocolate cake
Uh,
or like
her favorite's
brajol?
chocolate cake.
Like
What's
you know
that?
what, or like brajol, or like there's like a lot of stuff that like she might like.
I mean, she likes brachol, but like it's not.
Right, not her favorite.
I wouldn't say it's her favorite food because I'm trying to picture. When it's like an important day, people will say, "I want my favorite food
But
today."
they can't always
I
have
don't
their
think she's
favorite food.
right, but I'm just wondering if I just never noticed what my mom's favorite food is. I
We'll have
feel
to
like a lot
follow
of
up.
the times we just say, "Oh, do you want this?" And she'll say, "Yeah, that's fine."
Mm-hmm. That's true. So let me ask you. I was originally gonna guess your favorite food. Give me 3 guesses for your favorite food, okay?
Okay,
I'm gonna guess some form
I
of.
don't think you're gonna guess it.
Okay, first guess would be some form of chicken nuggets, chicken fingers type thing.
Negative, definitely not.
Second guess, poutine.
Still no.
All right, is it a dessert? I need a
No.
hint. Not a
For
dessert.
me, out of all people, sweets are my least favorite. So
True, but I can never get any of the Canadian snacks away from you for some reason, even though you tell me they're not your favorite. You eat them as fast. And is it a real food, not a snack or anything?
it is a real food.
Okay, so like you would eat it as like a meal or with your meal or
Yeah.
as a meal. All right, so I already guessed 2 that I've seen you eat a lot. I'm just gonna go third guess pizza.
No. Good
No?
guess.
What's
Can never go wrong with pizza, but no, it's not my
what
favorite.
was your favorite food?
It's steak. Steak is my favorite food.
Steak. Look at
Steak.
that. You know that now it's all coming together because you made the connection just now saying what people have on their birthday is their favorite foods and you did have steak on your birthday.
I did have steak on my
I
birthday.
remember you
That's
sent me a picture and I said I've never seen Steve eat steak.
right. Steak's expensive. I keep it for special
I
occasions, you
never hear
know?
you talk about steak, but now that I'm going back in my memory logs here, you do talk fondly about steaks when you have the opportunity. In fact, I asked you once where you wanted to eat, and you mentioned Longhorn Steakhouse, and
That's right.
I remember thinking to myself, over Fridays, and then you, and then
Oh
and
yeah, there's way better steak than
right,
Fridays.
right, but remember, like in my head, I'm comparing ribs. I'm not even thinking steak. Interesting.
Yeah, I actually don't know what your favorite food would be either. Um, I
I don't eat as much as you. You eat a
I
bigger
know.
bigger spread.
I'm gonna say dim sum.
Yeah, pork buns is definitely my favorite food by far.
Yes.
By far.
Hey, first try. Oh, we all know who's the better friend. I've won matchmaker.
I'm over here literally every time we eat dim sum. Steve, this is my favorite food. Steve eats a. We go to a restaurant. Steve, what do you want? Well, definitely not the steak. Let me get some pizza and chicken fingers.
Because the steak's always like $30.
Oh, I'm just saying, you never eat the steak. I've never seen you eat steak. I've seen Snapchats of you eating steak.
Yeah.
All right, what's the next question?
Okay. Okay. Next question. This one's. We'll just make this one a yes no. Do you
Okay.
know your mom's phone number by heart?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because we're pre cell phone era. We had to memorize it.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
No auto dial for us.
No.
Do you know your mom's blood type?
Yes, definitely, because it could save me.
I
Like my sister and my
know
dad, who
too,
knows?
because the same as mine.
My sister and my dad are not mine, so that's why I don't know.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah.
This one's a good one. Do you know your mom's best friend's name?
So here's the thing. I know most of.
Current best friend.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna
Current.
say. I know most of my mom's friends, and I know who I think she would call her best friend. But my mom is the type of person that's so political that she would never use the word best in a sentence. She, she would just say,
She feel like it disowns all her other friends. Like I can't
exactly.
choose just
Every
one.
friend is equal. Even the friends that suck, even the friends that are great, they're all equal. So if
I
I,
bet you said that about you and your sister too.
well, she used to until I called her out. I'm like, I know you're treating my sister better than me. Just call it what it is. Call a spade a spade. She's like, fine, she was the better kid. We love her more. Okay, well that's it. Just leave it out in the open and compensate me with better gifts or something.
That's right.
What about you?
I do. I'm pretty sure currently, because my mom, since we've moved a lot,
Oh,
I
that's
think
right.
I'm pretty sure I even know her childhood best friend because we still somehow keep in contact with them.
That's awesome.
Um, but yeah, currently I think it's her boss is her best friend.
That sounds wrong.
Could your boss be your best friend, Jim?
Never. And having been a boss,
Never.
I actively discouraged it. When I had my employees, for those people who don't know, I think this is a good tangent story opportunity here. For
Oh no,
Look
here
at
we
Steve's
go.
face. For people who don't know, I used to manage other people not by choice. They said, "Jim, if you want more money, you have to manage people." And I said, "Make it happen. Let me manage people." And then they said, "Haha, gotcha, just kidding. No more money, but here's the people and the work." And then I said, "You didn't give me any training." And they said, "You're such a nice guy, you don't need training." And I said, "I'm not a people person, so this is going to end poorly." So I had a team of people, and it was expected to have team meetings. Now, if you've ever seen the show Parks and Rec, I'm very much like a Ron Swanson when it comes to work. And so
Sure.
I'm not going to any meeting that is not valuable for my time. So I'm not going to have my
Okay.
team have a team meeting that's not valuable. So we had one team meeting. And when I sat down, I was like, hey guys, I'm Jim. This is the team. This is our one team meeting. Get any questions out in the open. Otherwise, you got my email. Shoot me any questions you got. And like that was it. And when my employees would get a little chummy, because one of the employees, she was very nice. She would like start telling me about her kids and her family. I'd be like, don't we have some spreadsheets to finish? I want to get out early. Boom, friendship destroyed. But we also both got out early.
That's it. No longer your best friend.
Right. But
That's
I always watch out for people's time. I want them to leave early. And
right.
that's the sign of a true boss. Covers your butt, gets you out of work early. That's a good boss. Next question.
So I'm gonna try to move on to a different quiz. but I can't
This
seem.
this this exact situation is what it's like being friends with Steve. You get 10 minutes into something and he just sprints into every direction. And then he
That's
turns around.
I have like ADD, you know.
Yeah, it's like clutter brain. And then you turn around to me and you're like, "Well, Jim, you take so many tangents. How can we talk about anything?" But over here, you can't even finish a quiz.
Okay, well, you want to finish the
Not
mom
if the
quiz?
questions suck. Not if they're sucky questions.
The questions are just very, like blah.
I don't
But
want blah.
unfortunately, like it's the only ones that seem it's the only one that seems to
This
be
doesn't
working.
even
'Cause,
seem Cosmo-y. Cosmo
I know, right?
questions are like, I'll give you a Cosmo question from all my rom-com, that's romantic
Uh-huh.
comedies for those who don't know.
Sure.
For all my rom-com experience, it would be like question number 1. How many dates with the individual before you feel comfortable sleeping with them? That is a
Uh,
Cosmos question.
how many dates?
Yes.
Okay. Are we gonna answer this
No, I'm
on?
giving you examples of Cosmos questions.
I mean, they're technically on here. It's like, um, what's the line between bra or bikini?
I can answer that
Who's the
question.
tall one in these couples, which are celebrity couples? Who do you think is the tall one?
I'd hope
Uh,
I'd hope for most people out there the man is taller. Though that's a good topic if we can touch on that really fast.
who's the tall one in these couples?
Just in general, being guys, I feel like height is something we stop shaking
I
your
gotta
head.
tell you,
Oh my god.
that Cosmo needs to hire a new web designer because every single one of these quiz has like a 404 error, service is down currently thing, except for, do you know
The,
your mom?
they must know your mom. That's all I can say. But within relationships, I do think there's some weird expectations that society throws on them, and height is
Right.
one of them. Where I'll be the first to say it. Like if I see a short girl with a tall girl with a short guy, I always think like that's weird, even though
Right.
it's not weird. It's just not as normal, and it makes me wonder like when did these notions even come into play? Is this back from when we were savages, or is this just recent?
I feel like that's just always been the case because all the way back in, I was going to say prehistoric, but like pre-man,
It could be
I mean,
prehistoric. Prehistoric's when we stopped writing, right?
I guess
Prehistory.
it's technically
Yeah.
true. Yeah, prehistory. Um, sorry, I just saw a quiz on here that says, "What's your sex position IQ?"
I think that takes more than the time we have left.
But yeah, so I think in prehistory, typically the man would be, or the male would be the like protector, right?
True. Yes, you'd
And so
want them
typically
bigger.
you'd want your male counterpart to be taller
Right.
than the female counterpart. But
That's
when you
true.
have when you have really tall women, that's going to be hard to do sometimes. So
Yeah. Yeah, that is
there's
tough.
nothing wrong, guys or girls, with dating younger, shorter guys. As a short guy myself, I love the taller women. So
You don't height discriminate.
exactly, I don't height discriminate.
I don't see height or color. I just see female.
Okay, let's see. Uh Man, these are awful quiz names. Like just looking at these quiz names. How old is your boyfriend really?
Give me
How
that one.
talented
Give me that
are
one. Give me that
how old
one.
is your boyfriend
Yeah,
really?
yeah. How old would you be if I hypothetically dated you?
Oh, it's broken. It's also broken.
Like our relationship. Dead. Dead.
Quizzes.
I feel like we could make a Cosmos quiz. That should
from,
be the challenge from rom-coms.
from rom-coms.
Yeah, yeah. Like they
What's
always
your what's
I,
gonna be
my
your
quiz
thing?
name?
Yeah.
How rom-commy are you? That's my quiz name. So number 1 I already gave you. Question
Uh-huh.
number 2. What's another thing that happens in rom-coms? Oh, okay. How many hours do you wait before texting the girl after a date? So you go on a
What?
date with the
Uh-huh.
girl, and now you're the guy, and
Oh.
you got right. Well, in this scenario, you're the guy. All right.
Right.
You go on a date with a girl. The date was fine. You're gonna send her a text. How long do you wait before sending that text? Is it
Oh,
like
usually I'll send it the same night.
do you send
Um
it like when you get back to your car? Do you send it like you
no.
send it
I
like
wait
when
till I get home,
you're
like
like in
I'm in
bed?
bed or something, you
Right,
know.
right, right, right. But not the
I'll
next
send it
day.
and say like, "Oh, I had a good time," just to see what the response is.
Okay, okay. So you'd wait
Or if
till
I wasn't feeling it, then I just don't text.
oof. That is the worst. I will always send the text.
You will always send the
And if
text.
I don't feel it, that text unfortunately is a sad text. It's one of those
Wow,
like
you just immediately break their heart, you
oh yeah,
know?
I text like immediately when I get back to my car. I'm that kind of person. Like we just had our date. If it was bad, I get back in my car and I just text like thanks for the dinner, had fun, but this isn't going to work or something like that or like I'm unhappy or I'm crying in my car right now, like something like that.
Jesus. How bad?
And if it's
No, typically I give um I'll give things multiple chances.
oh
And
okay.
so although I'm not feeling it, if a girl ends up texting me and is still like I said, if I'm not feeling it, then I won't text. But if a girl texts me that she had a good time, I would say, oh yeah, I had a fun time too.
I like
And
how you changed your word from good to fun. You were like I was going to say good, but I said fun because it wasn't good.
yeah. And then I'd probably give him another chance. Like there's been times where I've given girls, you know, multiple dates in
Right,
order to see
everybody's
if
got
I
a
can
bad
find a
day.
connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this day and age with all these dating apps, people are so quick
Oh, too
to
quick.
just
Too quick.
to just discard
Too
everything.
quick.
Yeah, there could be just like a slight thing you don't like about the person, but overall, you still had like a good time, but there's a slight thing you don't like. You're just like, nah, there is
Mm-hmm.
better out there. My platter is so full of, all the scrumptious goodies. You bite into each one and you realize, oh,
There,
nothing is
you
perfect.
bite into each chocolate and you're like, coconut again? Like you
Yeah.
just
Exactly.
It's interesting you say that because I have some friends who are of the mindset of I don't want to get to know you. I just want to say hello and let's go on a date. And if there's chemistry and we have a good banter and things are fun, cool, we could go on another date. If things aren't good, then that's it, we're done. And on the other side of the house, I have friends that are like, I want to vet this person via text and via phone call or Skype or video chat, make sure we're compatible, and then go on a date. And you
Right.
have like these completely opposite views, but the crazy part is to hit on what you said. Both of them end up in that place where I think with this generation, there's just a perception of so many options that they're just so quick into just, oh, I didn't feel 100% today like I should, so get rid of this person.
Right. Exactly.
That's a
Yeah. And
shame.
even if you have you got to realize that a lot of things evolve in relationships over time. And so if you don't like something, in particular now, like, you know, no one's perfect. Even if you found someone that somehow doesn't have this imperfection at the beginning, as you get to know them, you start realizing all their
Oh
imperfections.
yeah.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
like, and as soon as you find those, if you start discarding people, like you're never gonna find anybody. And
The bar
unfortunately, I
is
think,
too high. Yeah.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's what a lot of we're just told constantly that you need to like find your perfect match. You know,
Well, that's our
um,
generation, I think, is going through that right
yeah.
now.
While back in the day, people would have like arranged marriages and
Oh
stay
yeah.
married for forever.
Yeah, you had your local friends, you had your high school friends, and maybe if you went to church or whatever religion you had people from that group. That was it.
Right.
And like you picked from the lot, and you picked maybe the least ugly one, and that was that. Like it wasn't a lot of
Yeah,
options.
exactly. Well, I mean, you had some, but yeah, back then it wasn't like, oh, it's not perfect. Let me just keep swiping on this
Mm-hmm.
app to see if I
Mm-hmm.
can find something a little bit better. You know.
Mm-hmm. That's spot on. And also
Yeah.
our generation, and I'll be honest, we didn't live in our parents' generation, so we don't truly know how it was back then. But our generation is more prone to uh, exploring like what they're now calling like an open relationship, which is essentially you're not really dating to be in a relationship. You're dating to see multiple people at the same time. And so what
Right.
happens is this like non-committal type of a scenario is set up where you're going out on dates with so many people, it a little bit kind of gets you to be like, well, I don't need a relationship. I have all these halvesies relationships.
Right. Right. I got
And
all these little relationships, and it adds up to a full one.
oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I mean, all those do take a lot of time too. Like,
Yeah, I don't
message.
know how people who have multiple relationships do it. Kudos to you guys if you're able to do it, but I would not be able to. Already one is enough.
It is a lot to just like, yeah, especially since we also, Steve and I both like have families that are at least to some extent engaged in our lives. And so, spending the time with your family and then spending the time with your friends and then having just one person to spend, the rest of your time with is a lot of time. And then
Yeah,
imagine if you're going with like multiple people, like I just can't imagine. I wouldn't, yeah, wouldn't have the
yeah.
energy.
That's why going back to what you said about people who want to meet face to face and people who want to vet people through text. I do not have time to text multiple people all day long to
You're an
vet all these
in-person,
people.
hit it. Is it worth it? And
Yeah.
then quit it if it's not worth it.
No, I don't. Like I said, I give people multiple
Right,
chances
right, right.
unless it's like really bad. But yeah, I'm more of an in person. But a lot of people aren't because
I'm
I'll
actually in the
I'll
other
try it.
boat. I'm in the other boat. I'm the
Oh, you like to
person
vet
who
people?
I vet them because I see myself as going out as the time. Like I can sit there and text them baloney stuff while I'm watching a show. But for me
Right.
to get dressed up and to go out and to have a good time for like 2 or 3 hours with someone I don't enjoy, it is work if you don't enjoy them.
Well, sure, yeah, but it's rare that you would like meet someone and like match with someone and you'd have no like.
So you've never
Well,
went out with someone
it's
and they look different than what their picture looked like?
well, yes, that happens all the time these
Yes.
days.
Or their
But it
personality is
doesn't
just
really
different
matter.
too?
Yeah. Well, there was some interesting things like that
Exactly. So my
it was
that was my
going
point.
well, and then all of a sudden it just goes like way south.
That was my point is that like if you go out you are still spending time. But
Yeah, but
but
you
you
can still
do.
have like a good time
Yeah,
just
yeah.
meeting people. You ever meet random people at a bar or something? Just talk
You
to
know
random
me.
people.
My first impressions are usually negative. So my first joke is usually like an insult to their face. So
That's right. Yeah.
it doesn't always go well. And we were talking about this before. There's like work gym and then regular gym. and I could bring work gym to the dates, which I've done before, but like he's not fun. He'll come out and be like, "Oh, you look very nice today, and how was your day?" And like, falling asleep with work gym. And then regular gym is like, "Oh, so I just see you didn't change for this date." Like just throw it out there.
Well, that one might be a little aggressive.
That was a little aggressive. Yeah, but you get my point. And so
But I
like
mean, it technically weeds out the
the
people you want. Right?
weak-willed.
You would want someone
Oh, I
to
went on a
you have
date
a good
one
sense of
time.
humor.
I could tell you
Right?
one funny one. I went on a date one time, and we went out to like Dave and Buster's, and they have a pretty big. For those who haven't been there, it's like Applebee's or TGI Fridays. Like they got a pretty big menu, and
Right.
she's looking through the menu, however many pages it is, and she's like, I can't find anything I like, and I'm thinking like, I don't know what this
The
girl
whole
eats.
menu.
Yeah, and she's like, you know what? I'm just gonna get the chicken finger meal. And I was like, no problem there. That sounds fine to me. Like I would do that too. But then
Right.
in the back of my head, I had this little thing. Why didn't she like anything else on the menu? And then when I started digging, I realized she barely eats anything except chicken fingers, and that's not healthy. And we can't have that.
I don't know. I need to meet this girl.
This was way in the past. This is meetups not a possibility anymore.
Oh, okay.
But that's the thing. It's like I wouldn't have known that through texting, right? That's a good example of where in person, as soon as she saw the menu and said she didn't like anything on the menu, it made me feel weird because I was like, that's
Right.
weird. Whereas we could text and I would have never saw that.
Yeah, but that sounds like you needed to challenge her to be more cultural and try new things.
True.
You know?
I can only put out so much effort for these things, Steve. I had to win the teddy bear for my own honor. I can't be picking out food as well.
I was gonna say you kept the teddy bear. You didn't give it to her.
I think I gave it to her.
Oh, okay.
I gotta be honest, I don't really remember, but yeah,
Oh, okay.
I can't imagine me keeping it. But yeah, I think we could do our own quiz, Cosmos quiz, but we would need to do it from the guy's perspective.
Sure.
So it would need to be
I
like,
do have some Cosmo guys quizzes. I'm just upset. I was really excited to do some Cosmo quizzes.
wait,
And
what?
I didn't realize they're
Wait, they had
They're-
Cosmo guy quizzes, but you started us with the Cosmo girl quizzes.
none of their quizzes were working anyways. What does it matter? I was just going with the most recent quizzes.
We'll have to watch a rom-com and figure out the quiz questions.
Right, that's right.
Yeah. Well, that did take a little bit of a weird side turn, but unless you have anything else to add, I think we're getting near the end of the show here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks to everybody for joining us today. Sorry we took like 50 tangents. I don't think we meant to land on online dating from the deer we started with, the frolics of deers.
Frolics of deer.
Yeah, but again, thank you everybody for joining. As you know, we're
I feel like we need to change the name of our podcast to just Tangents at this point.
Tangents. We need a new icon too that just shows tangents. But the thing is, if we have tangents, we're gonna get a nerd crowd because the first thing I thought
That's
about
true.
was a
Everyone's
symbol
gonna-
like this, but this is technically
right.
perpendicular. A tangent would be like a circle and a line coming off it at a tangent. So
Right.
at this point,
Alrighty.
no.
There you
Yeah, I'm putting people to sleep at this point.
Yeah.
We'll have to stick with what we have and what we know. Yeah, so no worries. So yeah, please follow us on our social media accounts. They're under Steve. We have YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and podcasts. We're at CreativityLevelZero, and then for Instagram, we're at creativity_level_the number 0. So everybody, again, thanks for joining and listening, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.